Hello folks, I'm going to be getting out in the garage again today. It's about 40 degrees out here, at least in my man cave. It might be a little warmer in the garage, but I'm going to be starting to put things together on the truck. And what I'm going to do today is the tail lights and the side marker lights. I'm going to polish those things up and then reinstall those. And I'll bring you along for the ride. Okay, so what I'm going to do today, it's pretty cold out there, so I'm just going to do a little bit of something. I'm going to clean up these lights here and reinstall them. Actually, probably what I'm going to do is wash them first and then install them with tape around them and then try to buff them clean, nice and shiny. Now these are the original lights from 87 when it was built. So I don't see any cracks in them, so they look serviceable. This one here has got a dent here. Don't know that this one would get any better. You might be able to see right there, there's a dent in that, and it's cracked back here in the back. I'm still going to reuse it, but look how dirty that is. And try to get some water up inside and slosh it around, some soapy water on these and these. These are also very dirty. Try to get them all cleaned up and see if we can make them shine again. That's the project for today. Hey folks. Okay, I got these things washed, but before I go into that, I wanted to explain a little bit about my absence here the last couple of well, weeks, months, a month and a half, I guess, a month or so. I don't know if you guys recall or not, but we were preparing our house for a long-term guest to come and stay with us for a while. She had fallen and broken her pelvis, cracked her pelvis, and then recently she also fell again and broke her hip. After the hip problem, she was never able to recover, and unfortunately she passed away. That was my wife's mother, and so that's the reason why I've been gone for so long. We've had a lot of family things to take care of, and it just takes time and the grieving process. She was a very sweet lady, and I really hated to see her go, and we're going to miss her dearly. But anyway, let me get into how these things looked, how they turned out after I cleaned them, and I'll bring you right back. Okay, I took them inside and washed them in the sink and scrubbed them with green Scotch-Brite, which is equivalent to 600 grit from what the internet says. Mrs. Grease Monkey wasn't real happy about me washing these in the sink, but the side marker lights are still, you can see shininess on them, so I'm going to leave those like they are. I'm not going to worry about doing any polishing on them. There's a little bit of dirt trapped right down in there that you can't get out. I tried and tried and tried on both of them, but that's just about as good as they're going to get. So those are going to be like they are. These, I guess because the tail lights are on the back of the truck and they get hit with all kinds of sand and everything else, they're very, very dull. So, and then of course scrubbing them with Scotch-Brite doesn't help, but it should have cleaned out cleaned them off good enough to where we can just bring them back to life with some polish and a buffer. So that's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to mount these things back up. I do have to, looks like I painted my light bulbs. I don't know if I'm going to worry about that for now or if I'm just going to replace them. They probably all need replacing anyway. There's no telling which ones of them work and don't work. But we're going to get them mounted up, and then what I'm going to do is tape all around so that the buffer doesn't hit the new paint. I don't want to take off any paint that I just put on there, so I'll protect that on both sides, and then get these things installed and go to work with the buffer, and I'll bring you along and show you that. Okay, this is what the tape off looks like. I just used the oldest tape I had. It's not real sticky. Hoping it'll just give me a little bit of a boo-boo room, I guess you could say, in case I go over with the buffer. And the tape not sticking real well will keep it from damaging the paint at all. I did both sides, as you can see. So now let me install those lights and see what we got. I think I did a little better on hiding the light bulb on this one. Yeah, it looks a little cleaned up to be good, but anyway, I'm not real worried about that. So I'll bring you back when I get ready to start buffing. Okay, got the lenses installed with the on the front. Here's kind of a neat little weird thing. This one here is the one that got bent, and this fender is the only fender that I didn't have to do any body work on. So whatever it is, whatever caught that, it caught just that and not the fender. So, but anyway, got back ones on as well. As you can see, it got taped around them. In there. And here is the stuff I'm going to use. Now, I do understand that most people use like a polishing compound, but this is what I've got. So this is what I'm going to use. And this, my very dusty polisher. So I'm going to set the tripod up and let you see me do this and see how it works. Okay, I'm going to try to stay off to the side here, but I might block your view a little bit. Now I have to admit, I do not have a whole lot of experience in polishing. The cars that I normally deal with are not something that you have to worry about polishing. I bought this actually to polish my camper, which will be another video coming up someday soon. But what I'm going to do, put a couple of dabs on this polisher. And you know me, I have to get my hands and everything. Wipe it around because I don't want it slinging all over the place. And it's not like I can wipe it on the car. So we'll just go with it this way. See what happens. I'm already seeing a huge difference. Let me put a little bit more on this stuff. Try to get some little out here on the ends because that's kind of where I need it. All right. Okay. Bring you in. I don't know if you can see the difference from there, but I'm gonna bring you in and show you. It looks like brand new, with the exception of a little bit where you have the lettering and stuff. Of course, that's not such a big deal. But, and there's a line here that I saw whenever I cleaned them. I'll try to polish that out a little bit better. But anyway, the whole 2000 grit and all that kind of stuff, I don't think that's really needed. Just some Scotch-Brite, green Scotch-Brite, and some good polishing wax. Again, this stuff is Marine Restorer wax. You don't necessarily have to use that. I'm sure that any kind of good Meguiar's or something like that would probably work as well. Yeah, that's how it turns out. And it looks brand new to me. I'll go ahead and do the other side and then show you that one, and then I'll put some comparisons of before and after pictures, and judge for yourself. Okay, the other side's done as well. I think the whole process of polishing these things total, including taping and everything, probably took a whole 30 minutes. But they look pretty good. Still has that one little bit of a flaw there. I don't know if that was something that was original or maybe it got filled up with water at some point. I don't know. But it's acceptable for me. Definitely looks a heck of a lot better than it did before. So I'll turn this around and do a little outro, and I'll also put some before and after photos in, and we'll call this one done. Okay, so as you saw, it can definitely easily be done to make your original tail lights look brand new, as long as they're not cracked and broken and stuff like that. Like I said, these are the originals to this truck, which is 1987, and they shined up pretty darn good. You might even be able to accomplish this by hand polishing with the same similar stuff. You don't have to use, as far as I'm concerned anyway, an actual rubbing compound and then a buffing wax or whatever. I think you can get it done pretty easy just with something as simple as what I showed you there. It can be done pretty easy, and it makes a big difference. You know, it would have been old powdery looking red taillights if I hadn't have done that. But so anyway, the next video that I'm going to be putting out on the truck will be working on getting this thing running. I'm going to research quite a bit on how to clean this tank out, and what I'm going to do is use cleaning vinegar. Probably going to buy about 10 gallons worth and then flip it over and let it sit a couple days each time. I won't show you all that, of course, but I will show you the pouring it in and what I'm using and how much I'm using. I want to get that cleaned out and then get it in the truck. I do have to buy one hanger. I might be able to rig up something to hold it up temporarily, but I also need a fuel sending unit and a fuel pump, possibly. Last time I looked at the fuel sending unit was back in 2010. That's when I figured out what was wrong with the truck. But it might be able to be repaired. I don't know. I haven't looked at it in a long time. If not, I got to buy one. If it is, then I'll try to repair it. But what happened was the sending unit where it holds the fuel pump up had rusted off. and fallen. The fuel pump had fallen into the tank. The pump was working; it was just circulating it in the tank. But since then, the tank has been sitting without anything in it, so I'm sure it's got quite a bit of rust in it. It did then, so nothing I'm sure has changed since then. But I do have a battery for it now. So once I get the fuel working, then we can see if we can get this thing fired up. It will be the first time that it's actually ran since 2010. That was when I was just pouring gasoline down the yak through the what do you call it, throttle body fuel injection. So it hasn't run on its own for probably since 2008ish, 2009ish. It sat for a while in my brother's mother-in-law's house for quite a while before I was able to get it back. But anyway, that's going to be the next video. I'll be working on that. We may actually get it started up just by pouring some down the throttle body again, just to see if it will run. And then I got to figure out whether or not it'll hold water, and go from there. So thank you for coming along for the ride. Please like and subscribe. And by the way, I appreciate everybody who has subscribed, and we're up to, last I looked, was 883, I think it was, subscribers, and I appreciate every one of you. But anyway, thanks for coming along for the ride, and see you next time.